up next, we have Achilles versus Skaws.
Actually, a hot one itself. Again, I was saying earlier, this is two of our bigger underdogs in the bracket, but at least one will be moving on. We've got Achilles, who just about qualified on points, just about made the PR, just about might get a win here, but isn't seeded to. And then Skaws, who had to fight his way through the last chance qualifier, and despite getting second, barely made it. It has to be said with complete honesty. We were one hit away from having Giggles, the Captain Falcon player, in this position instead. But this is a matchup between a Northeast player, stroke a Yorkshire player, against London. So the two of them will not come together very often. Achilles has some of the most tournament appearances in the UK altogether. I believe she has the most tournament appearances in the UK in 2022, with 140 events entered, including weeklies.
I remember seeing that statistic, but I cannot remember who was actually at number one.
Yeah, she also, I believe, made it into the top 150 in the world for most sets played in 2022, which is crazy.
Really?
But most of these come from, I'm going to go to the York Weekly, the Durham Weekly, and the Newcastle Weekly in a single week. It's not necessarily from travelling down to London to go and fight Skaws in a meltdown. I wouldn't imagine these two have ever fought each other before. It's possible, but
I'm doubtful that Achilles has fought many Toon Links at all. Currently, I think Skaws is the only active one, obviously.
We do have one in the Northeast in Lobby, but I mean...
Oh, you're absolutely right.
He's plenty good, but Skaws... You know, Lobby is a really good Toon Link, whereas Skaws is a really, really good player who mains Toon Link. Like, he's up there with the very best. And again, seeded to win this, but in my eyes, this is dead even. Like, Achilles is very used to playing against projectile characters, fights against Rob all the time, for instance, and will come across just about anything at any point, really. And Toon Link will be an interesting challenge for her. There's also a lot of regular Link players in Yorkshire, which should go a long way, even if they're not necessarily on Skaws' level. I'm sure Achilles has had plenty of sets with Burnsy, if you think that Link versus Toon Link is comparable.
Also, his own brother, Cool Kings.
Oh, yeah. Not someone that Achilles will have fought too often, I don't think, but it's good that the Skaws family, if you will, can represent all the Links. One day...
I actually just completely mixed myself up.
Yeah.
You were talking about Achilles Burnsy, and I went, oh, there's another Link, Kill Kings.
We'll roll with it. One day...
I believe they might have ran into one another, like maybe some Leeds events, so maybe it's not all untrue. Maybe I'm not just completely lying.
Yeah, exactly. Leeds is another one of those weeklies that Achilles farmed. Because the thing is about her regional presence, she's natively from the Northeast, but kind of only just, like... I could call out the specific location if you wanted, but it's to say she's at an in-between point between Yorkshire and the Northeast proper. So did university in York, so didn't exactly go far, but it kind of thoroughly moved her from Northeast, where she lived but wasn't competing at that time, then started competing in Yorkshire, where she'd moved to for university, which is now finished, and so now she's based back in the Northeast permanently, but still not in Newcastle. Still very much in a midpoint where Newcastle and York are almost equally far away. And then Leeds, I don't know how she's doing that, but she clearly does it a lot. So this is someone with the honor of travel at her side within the north, but not too much further. So I really would like to see Achilles versus some of the South's best, some of Wales potentially, or Ireland. She obviously gets plenty of opportunities to fight Kerbo, because Scotland will travel down to knockout tournaments where she will be a regular, but I don't know if she has fought Kerbo in particular.
I don't believe that she has.
But then there's also the opposite point of view. When does Skaws fight me Brawler?
I don't believe there's any situation where
Telly me Brawler is the best I can think of, really. Or
maybe
Skaws before
Bloom
Bloom,
some random point? Maybe.
We have me Brawlers in the South. They're just considered top 5 in the country, and they bring it out only upon special occasion, you know? But we're going to get one right now. The characters are getting locked in. The move set for me Brawler is 1-3-3-2. That, of course, means shot put. It means thrust uppercut. It means flip kick. And one of the side Bs. Who cares?
Suplex. I'm going to call it suplex.
I'm going to say burning drop kick.
Okay, you know what? We'll see. We'll see who's right.
I've watched enough Achilles sets where I should know, but how often do you see her use side B? Not the most, but she has had some of the best sets in UK history recently. The set she had against Mittens at King of the Hill in Durham was the best comeback I've possibly ever seen. Mittens is a player that she had like an 0-8 losing record to in recent times. Just hates Kazuya Mishima, but suddenly went 2 games down, barely clutched out a third with me Brawler, switched to DK, went down to last stock, and then reverse 3-stocked and won the whole set.
Wow.
It was amazing. But can we see something like that against Skaws? We're going to see it here on Hollow Bastion, which I can inform you is a stage that Achilles will be very, very happy with.
Reverse 3-0 Skaws is no easy feat, so Achilles better hope that she's not in that situation this set, because if Skaws is playing well enough to go 2-0 up on you, he probably has you figured out.
Yeah, we literally saw 2 sets against B Little yesterday, right? B Little went 2-1 up in the first set, so Skaws lost. And then on the second occasion, Skaws went 2-0 up, so he won. Like,
yeah.
Skaws really does play so much better with a good mentality and with a winning record on his side. Giggles, again, he only just pulled that one back, having gone down 2 games. But we might be staring down the face of a Skaws defeat here if Achilles can get one more shot put or an up smash potentially. There it is.
There we go.
Call it as I see it.
Just ask and you shall receive, Tail. Up smash, just let rip. No need for no up Bs.
Listen, when you're in the same region as a commentator as the most active player in the North, you're going to see a lot of Achilles in your life, and sometimes you're going to know what's coming. Those up smashes are one of them. But you know what we haven't seen is any sort of combo into the up B. So that is one for later, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Skaws on the back foot, and unfortunately for him, or fortunately for him,
yeah,
will now be on even stocks with Achilles. However, definitely needs to be careful, because as much as I hate to say this, he's at kill percent. He's very much at kill percent.
You've made me cringe with that, and I've seen enough Achilles to last me a lifetime. But we'll be going for a lot of those falling nairs, of course. Like we mentioned with Darkstalker Terry earlier, how you can get a power dunk that lands frame positive. You can absolutely land a me Brawler nair that lands at least +0 on shield, and you can just get away with it with no recompense whatsoever, and Achilles will rely on it all the time, and as she should. Same with Bloom.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe all the top 5 UK players should just have a pocket brawler.
We're showing exactly why. Like, the UK has always had such a higher perception of B-Brawler compared to the rest of the world. Otherwise, it was just ESAM sticking up for the character. But I think at this point, UK has single-handedly pushed me Brawler up people's tier list. Achilles literally picked up the character to prove a point, is the story she tells people.
Yeah.
Picked it up in lockdown, saw that people weren't believing in me Brawler. She always did. She's like, oh, well, I'll just main me Brawler then. Watch this. And it was the best decision she's ever made. However, Skaws making a better decision to get a KO. Don't let me skip over that one. Achilles is very much behind.
Yeah. It seems in the span of these good 3 minutes, the one making the constant better decisions has been Skaws, who originally lost the first stock, falling on the back foot, but has now completely reversed that momentum and is staring down a Game 1 win right now.
I do wonder, I don't think Achilles and Nades ever overlapped in the scenes as well. Nades kind of retired before Achilles moved back to the Northeast. That could have been some excellent experience if they just had that tiny bit of overlap, but it unfortunately doesn't exist for her. So now a full stock down, potentially at kill percent if the right move comes out like an up air.
For an updraft, yeah, something up till up air would definitely kill right now.
But that will, just from the ground, up B, out of shield. Achilles has pulled this one back so many times. I mentioned the reverse 3-stock on Mittens, and yeah, you win, I lose. It was suplex. I should know my own region players better.
Oh, well, killing.
Updraft does not kill.
Was that the weak
We'll take that one back.
Was that the weak hit off up air?
I think it was just perfect DI from Achilles all the way to the left, seeing it was coming.
And that's it.
Yes, indeed. Down smash is strong enough. Really, really good stuff from Skaws to initially be at the deficit at the back of that and say, okay, you've got a character who can pull comebacks back from anywhere. I'm just playing Toon Link. Like, I'll just continue my game plan, and I'm going to make sure it works this time. But I can see the Any Dimension coming in the background. I see local GP, I see Mittens, I see Alchemy. I feel like it might start to get a little louder for Achilles in a moment's time.
Oh yeah, they do turn up for their girl, don't they?
Or just anyone associated. Like Mittens especially has the same story of being both Newcastle and Yorkshire overlap. Me too as well. I've never been part of the Yorkshire Smash scene because I got into Smash once I'd already moved to Middlesbrough and then up to Newcastle. But I mean, you can hear my accent, right? It's no Geordie accent. I'm a Yorkshire man in the wrong place. And I love it up there in Newcastle. It's a great scene. So a bit of Achilles, Mittens, even me, we show the overlap between those two seasons. We love each other, really. But Skaws wants the best in Birmingham based on his time at university and now representing London as well, where he's always been from. These two have been around the country and covered off pretty much all parts of England. But what we're going to be covering is Pokemon Stadium 2 right now with an immediate combo start from Achilles. But once those neutral air landings, and we said how it's +0 on shield, it won't be out Toon Link's up tilt on the ground though. Whoa, all right.
Almost. I like that decision to get an aerial suplex.
It was either a misinput up B or it was saying, I want to get out of there. Skaws is going to hit me with a down air or something, but I'm going to hit you with a shot put. Skaws absolutely taking one in the bonnet there. Yeah,
this has been an explosive first stock for Achilles as she's just rocketed out the gates, and in under a minute has absolutely obliterated Skaws' first stock as he falls right on the back foot. Well, we'll see. Can he make another comeback like he did?
Ooh, well, take 20% first. Suplex, it will never kill. It's so short range. It's an awful recovery option, but you simply cannot complain with a command grab that does a guaranteed 20%.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the exact reason she picked that move. Yeah. Just the sheer damage output.
It kind of sounds less overpowered than it used to with, like, when me Brawler first dropped, we thought we could do 20% just with this, and now Kazuya has like over half his moves deal over 20%, but you just have to not think about that sometimes. And within this scenario of two base game character rosters, no jab block there because Skaws going straight for the roll. They're fighting on relatively even terms, and on this occasion it's Achilles pulling ahead.
Yeah, pulling ahead just more and more. She went from taking that first stock to being on her way to taking Skaws' second stock. And that's it.
Well,
3 stocks to 1.
Can we keep it going? I'm certainly not expecting a 3 stock or anything like that. And Skaws is such an expert at using those tilts. The F tilt to cover both behind him and above him, and always picks the right thing in the right spot. It's I think it's Skaws' best attribute, to be honest, just usage of tilt on the move and in place.
Yeah. He always knows when to use the right tilt.
So even the down tilt getting a chance.
And what to do when he lands that tilt. Just always knows.
Yeah, whereas Achilles, the strength surely has to be combo game. But wow, we do get a 3 stock. Flip jump of feint jump. Is that the actual name of the Mii Brawler version?
Yes.
Obviously based on Zero Suit Samus's flip jump. Worse in every way. But that still means you're turning a 5 out of 5 move into a 3 or 4 out of 5. It isn't going to have the spike on the kick version, but you can still do the footstool version and land on another player to spike them at that kind of awkward angle. And that's exactly what Achilles did. We saw the kick used as an attack earlier, and then on that occasion, flip jumps right onto Skaws' head, recognizing that when you're recovering with spin attack, you have no hitbox above you, so I can just land straight on you, and down you go. Big 3 stock from Achilles, but it's certainly not writing Skaws off by any means.
What a 3 stock, by the way. After losing game 1 into 3 stocking Skaws of all people, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was going to be a 3 stock. That feint jump kill absolutely came out of nowhere, and I think even Achilles was a little bit surprised, but the opportunity presented itself. You've got to take those, and now we do, as expected, return into a fairly even game right now in game 3. Oh, there's that landing there, but has to prepare for the bomb. That's going to take so much longer to explode than the ones we were seeing from solid gamers Banjo. Now Achilles actually having the time to deal with that and get away without taking damage, but it does still stop her from keeping the combo going that she wanted to do.
Percents are marginally more even now. No one person's running away with anything at the moment. And so stuck in shield by ledge.
Oh, not able to get away with a roll-in F smash on that. Achilles ending the jab combo as soon as possible to make that possible. There's your jab.
Not quite.
Jab reset, but again, F tilt. This time it hits, but it's not the most powerful move. But the F air absolutely is. Was it an F air or was it a nair? It felt too strong for a nair, but well, we'll see what happens if it comes out again in the future. For now, Achilles definitely wants to land with that back air and gets an up smash. Dead even, Yabuki.
Yep, I love bomb into imagination tail. Just the amount of leeway that move gives you to just combo into whatever you so wish is honestly insane. It's such a good item.
But now, again, this is why Achilles really wants to be on Hollow Bastion. That up tilt was just pixels away from hitting, and it could have potentially converted into something unthinkable. But for now, at 77, Achilles will be brainstorming on what to do on a lightweight character that's also floaty, like Toon Link. We really just haven't seen any true confirms into a thrust uppercut kill. We've seen the move kill out of shield or with some landing reads, but we haven't just seen Achilles up air into thrust uppercut and kill with it. However, well, we have.
Well,
thanks.
You know,
you're welcome.
Thanks for speaking it into existence now.
I actually thought we
were maybe going to go an entire set without seeing that sort of combo for the first time in Mii Brawler history.
Hey, but you know what? It killed between 90 and 100. That's fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. Keep playing Skaws, and you could have potentially even stocks once again. This is why I said this felt to me like the most even set of the tournament. It's absolutely been proven right, and Skaws proving it even more right, looking to bring this back to even again.
Yeah, exactly. Skaws fighting to crawl it back and tear this second stock out of Achilles' hands. This, like you said, this has just been so even, so back and forth. We swung from a win on Skaws' side to a 3 stock to now an even game. Yeah, but more or less.
Never mind. 70 to 88.
Looking
a little
less
bit
like
stale, but
game.
It's still plenty good enough. Oh, but the double jump expended, fortunately, feint jump's actually a little better at snapping to ledge than Zero Suit Samus' version. That's one of the advantages it does have. Still worse, but like, you'll take any advantage you can get. Good parry though from Skaws just to get out of there. The back throw is capable of killing a normalish percent. It's one of those moves that kind of used to be considered a kill throw in maybe the Brawl days, maybe a bit of Smash 4. It's a little bit outclassed now, but it's stronger than it looks, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I did not fully expect a kill there, but I would not have been surprised at that back throw kill. Because like you said, deceptively strong. However, no combos to be found on Skaws' end. Just needs to hit a raw F tilt, like we've just seen.
Do it. Felt kind of late as well, but it's still a sword getting cut through the Mii Brawler's face at the end of the day. So yeah, I guess it should kill. But can Skaws get another one with a down air? That's Skaws' favorite way to complete a comeback, because the move literally kills at 0. You just have to be in exactly the right place.
Yep, but however, he's in such a dangerous situation. 157%, getting hit with a shot put and losing game 2.
Yeah, just the 2 heaviest hitting moves in Mii Brawler's moveset. The shot put and the suplex, they hit with force. They're not usually going to be KOing you unless shot put is high percentage off the side, but you feel it in your skull, you know, when those moves hit. And that means Achilles is 2-1 up. But again, Skaws can rethink the stage choice. Again, I can tell you on personal account, Achilles loves Hollow Bastion, but you don't have to know that about a player. Like, the main thing that you would think about a general Mii Brawler is, well, I have to ban Battlefield, and anything that counts as a triplat, even PS2 and Small Battlefield are getting reputations at this point for being great Mii Brawler stages. But you know what? Mii Brawler's got loads of great stages, and Hollow Bastion is one of the personal favorites of Achilles. I don't know what was selected, but if I was Skaws, after losing there again, I'd definitely be picking somewhere else at the very least.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. However, we'll see. We'll see what stage we're going to warp into. PS2.
Yep, one of those other.
Yep.
You don't want to. If a me Brawler starts a set with you and says, "Do you want to go PS2?" You say no. You don't do it. However, sometimes when you're backed into a corner, you don't have that many things left to pick. Toon Link doesn't have too many stages he likes that much. Achilles will have banned them all. And now on Pokemon Stadium 2 platform, Achilles was almost showing us the way of the wizardry.
Yeah. A nice down air to mix up the landing and then comboing off of it, which you don't actually see too often. But another very, very, very even stock one for the two of these players. However, Achilles sitting at a perfect updraft percent, though might be out of the percent range actually, now that I think about it, with the rage that Skaws has on deck.
Well, you're always at risk of getting hit by a thrust uppercut and a back
and a bear.
Air. Is that the first back air kill we've seen from Achilles in this set? If not, it's like, must be the second or third at most.
I think it might be the second at most.
Oh no! It's
Almost.
not going to KO, but it put the fear of God into Skaws right there. Achilles is winning again, but Skaws keeping himself competitive. This is good, like we saw in sets that Skaws lost yesterday against Belittle, nearly against Giggles, that once things started to go wrong for Skaws, they started to really go wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas here, yes, he's losing, but he's still playing well and keeping himself in this. I'm pleased to see the mentality is really, really there for Skaws right now. But Achilles is simply playing better. She's the one who's on the PR after all. Skaws is the one who's probably more on the borderline for the next one, having just beaten Shag in UFA. But Achilles is here to say, hey, I'm on there for a reason. I'm going to win and show that maybe I should stay there.
Yeah, it's like you don't get onto the PR for a fluke tale. Like there's a reason that she's on it, and there's a reason that she's qualified. So she's here to show exactly that. However, Skaws, like you said, is here to show exactly why he should be on that as well.
But you have to find the way through the Achilles defense right now, because she is very happy to sit under that platform. It protects you from the bombs, makes it harder to aim a boomerang at you, and obviously it's the right situation to set up your own combos. So trying to force Skaws in there. Skaws finding the way in, both in shield. Somebody was going to hit that grab button. We knew that for a fact. There's the kick of the feint jump as well. It's not going to KO, but it could set up. I think she got the buffered short hop on that.
She almost got her own bomb fair that Toon Link is so famous for.
Oh, and if it was a full hop, maybe it would have taken that stock. But we play on. Even Stevens, but away goes Achilles off the top of the screen.
He shoots, he scores indeed, as we hear from the crowd. Skaws, like you said, despite having been on the back foot,
wait a minute!
Despite being on the back foot for the entirety of this game, like you said, he still plays well. He keeps his composure, and now we're on to last stock, even percent.
Oh, the jump suplex as well. That's more punishable, but it was a more intentional read, and it absolutely found its mark. Achilles still isn't behind, but that doesn't matter when it's 42 versus 48. We are closer to a me Brawler KO than we are to a Toon Link one, I'll say that for a fact.
Oh, I almost thought we were going to see it as well, as you were saying it. Speaking it into existence, that you are absolutely right. This is definitely much more dangerous for Skaws than it is for Achilles. However,
great get-up attack.
Does not mean that she is safe either. Because Achilles has now found herself off stage 105%. This could be it.
Yep, so needs to find the way off the platform. Skaws has all the projectiles in the world to hold that center stage. Achilles, wow, the really good drift away from floaty Toon Link to not be in a jab lock situation. Holds down on the recovery as well to get that last hit.
And the up smash
into the forward air. Achilles is living. Feint jump is expended, but
the
nair will do it. And Skaws brings it to 2-2. We're having a game 5 in easily the closest set of the day.
Yeah, that was a nail biter.
Oh, yes.
That was right down to the wire. Both players at kill percent. You saw Achilles let that up smash rip that just barely missed. And then Skaws hitting that fair, it just barely not killing. and then following up with that nair.
So much to keep in mind, but we have to always remind you, you don't want to let me, Brawler, have the stage choice in Game 5. Achilles will go wherever she likes, and that stage is going to be revealed in a moment for the last duel between Toon Link and me, Brawler, of this tournament. We are returning to Pokemon Stadium 2 to finish what these players started.
Yeah, PS2, definitely probably a change that Skaws very much liked, and Achilles, you know, she won't have any complaints about this sort of stage, especially those PS2 platforms. She can do exactly what she was just trying to do.
Yep, and again, we've seen a total of one proper thrust uppercut combo kill in this set. If we're going to see one, now's the time to really put yourself in the lead.
Exactly. Now is the time for Achilles to... Oh!
Wait a minute. Skaws
cheeky.
was writing a story with the Master Sword there. Absolutely predicting where Achilles was going to be at every step. Couldn't get them all, but if that was a full set, could have... Oh, does do too late the thrust up out of shield.
I love that awareness to hit on shield and then just know, I need to get out of the situation right now. Like, I know that this unbeaten shield is coming, and I'm leaving.
It was still possible for Achilles if she committed immediately to the turnaround thrust uppercut. Instead, the thrust uppercut, it does have a weakness, and it's not that good of a recovery move.
Yeah.
And it will barely miss the ledge there to put Skaws in the lead for the most optimal moment he could ask for.
Yeah. Now, Skaws grabs this crucial first stock lead in our Game 5 situation. However, is going to lose it with only 30% of extra credit to his name. Never mind, extra credit ends when you take a hit, and now it has ended. 53%, definitely something to be happy about.
Yeah, and Achilles getting absolutely nothing off of that single up tilt. It's certainly useful for setting up thrust uppercut, but at actual 0%, it's maybe not as good as you might expect. And the horizontal range sucks. Oh, wow, wow!
Yep, that's going to kill. Skaws now an entire stock ahead of Achilles as she's staring down the barrel of her own elimination right now, Tao.
Yeah, and the updraft was a huge part of it, but the bigger credit just goes to knowing that the spot dodge was the right thing to do if Achilles wanted a low percent grab. And this is the biggest lead we've seen since Achilles got a 3-stock win. Skaws is way in front, and Achilles needs to tap into the ether right now to come up with something dangerous. Air dodges into the late hit.
Skaws has just been all over Achilles' stock. I don't know where this power has been just come from in this Game 5, but I believe that's it.
Yep, landing into the spin attack. The attack had already been done. And Achilles simply made the mistake at the last second. Very disappointed with that one, as you can tell, but that was a barnstormer of a set. We wanted a close set between two of the most evenly matched players here, and that is precisely what we got.
He shoots, he scores, by the way.
Yes, indeed.
Just want to say that.
Achilles was the one throwing the sports balls around and getting various kills with those, but he shoots, he scores, and he will be moving on to a second round losers encounter against, well, we simply don't know yet. It will be SBF or Kerbo